Hello everybody and welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. Today we are talking about the full moon in the sign of Sagittarius. This is coming in beautiful, wonderful energy on May 23rd of 2024. We're going to talk about some energies around this moon. We're going to talk about some other planetary aspects that are happening at the same time of this moon and very much supportive of it. And we're going to just get into some of the energies here, what this might mean to you. We're also going to pull out some cards for each astrological sign. So I will be putting all the timestamps in the description box and the comment section down below so you can very easily navigate through your way through this reading, so you don't have to listen to everything all at once. You can jump around a little bit. It's very important to watch both your sun and rising sign, but also throw in the moon sign there for you guys as well, if you do know your birth chart aspects there. If you don't, hop online. There's a number of places you can find free tools to pull up your astrological birth chart. It can be very enlightening. One of the ones that I like, I'm not affiliated with them in any way, is Cafe Astrology. They just give a lot of really good information and really good descriptions on what things mean for you, and it's a really good jumping off point for you there. But there's other ones out there as well, so just go wherever the wind blows you. But let's talk about this full moon, okay? Share the word, because this is an incredibly positive, incredibly abundant, and quite lucky full moon for some people. So this can be very exciting. This is happening May 23rd. If you are on Pacific time, this is happening at 6:53 a.m. So it's the early morning hours. So if you're going to work that day, probably before you start work. If you're on the Eastern Seaboard, 9:53 Eastern. And if you're somewhere else in the world, just adjust your clock accordingly. But that's when it's at the height of its energy. You do not need to worry. Don't need to fret if you're not available at that exact time. We all know that the moon energy, the energies start coming in a couple of days before, they stay for a couple of days after. And so you can really kind of use this energy to your advantage, just slot in some time. It's going to be a really great moon for some meditation, for connecting with nature, maybe getting outside, doing something fun and interesting. Full moons, of course, are a completion of a cycle. And we do have a moon cycle every 28 days. We got the new moon. 2 weeks later, we got a full moon. And we've got a new moon after that, right? So 28 days between the new and the full moon approximately. But the full moon in Sagittarius is actually a completion of energy that started way back 6 months ago in the new moon in Sagittarius. All right, so think back to, I think it was the beginning of December. I'll link the reading down below so you can refresh your memory. But this is, what were your intentions? What were you starting? What were you planning? What were you manifesting at that time? And this full moon is a culmination of that energy in some way. For some of you, you've made a lot of progress, or this can be really where you do figure out what's keeping you a little bit stuck. Full moons can be about harvest, seeing something through to the end, right? Being really pleased with the results, but it can also be this need to cleanse and purge and release anything that has been holding you back, whether it's thoughts or feelings or habits, maybe people even as well. So great energy there for you guys to kind of cleanse and purge so that you can set yourself up for a new tomorrow. This full moon, is happening at 2 degrees and 55 minutes. And this is 2 degrees is a Taurus degree, and it's very linked with your second house of money, income, resources, how you make your money, even how you spend your money. This can also be your investments, right? All this kind of stuff. So very much a focus on the material world when we do get this energy. So some of you could have a stroke of a little bit of a stroke of luck, or you might get something that is coming to fruition for you in your material world. This does also have to do with your values, the things that you value, your personal values, especially about material objects. Some of you could be potentially buying something that you've been saving up for. Some of you, this can be related to like your house and your home, right? Again, where you live, the objects in it. Some of you could be decluttering at this time and you're like, you know what? I don't need all this stuff. My house is cluttered. I'm feeling claustrophobic. And so this is maybe where you do sell some of your possessions to bring in some money, right? Harvest something there for yourself. But with this being at 2 degrees, if you have planetary placements in Sagittarius, so sun, moon, rising, okay, between 0 and 4 degrees, this energy is really going to impact you the most. Also, if you are Aries, Leo, Libra, or Aquarius, you are also going to feel this energy a little bit more than some other people, but don't worry if you don't have any placements in those areas, because we all benefit from this moon, from this lunation. It's very, very exciting. We are heading into Gemini season at the time of this full moon. So this is a time when communication is heightened. Of course, we've got Mercury direct now, right? It was in retrograde and then in shadow for a bit as of May 13th. This is when Mercury is direct. So forward thinking, forward momentum, positive communication, clearing the air, making decisions, having clarity and a sense of focus. And when we do enter Gemini season, we do tend to speed things up a little bit. So if you've been feeling a little bit kind of, like things have been a little slow moving, this is where things pick up the pace. With the Sagittarian moon, this brings in the qualities of Sagittarian energy. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And this is an energy of luck, abundance. Jupiter is the great benefic. Jupiter likes to bring us things. And in this case, this can bring us everything that Sagittarius kind of stands for and represents: wisdom, knowledge, luck, maybe a stroke of genius somewhere along the way. This is about freedom, right? Sagittarius loves freedom. Also, really a sense of adventure. So a sense of adventure, a sense of fun, more positive thinking, joy, right? Sagittarian energy is very connected with joy, positive thinking. So you could be feeling a little bit more optimistic about the future when we have this full moon. Now, things, of course, can be shaking up in your world as well, right? And this is where you may start to see the positive aspects of things that have been shaken up in your world, the things that have been a little challenging to deal with, or maybe it's like, okay, I've got all this stuff happening, all these changes going on. What does it mean? So this could be where you kind of really get those answers that you've been looking for. But Sagittarian energy is very philosophical, very forward thinking, but also very fun loving energy, right? So this is a great energy and a great moon for you to get out of your comfort zone, right? We all struggle with that a little bit, but Saggy energy is like, I'm going to face my fears, full moon. Okay. I'm going to face my fears and I'm going to do something that scares me, even if it's just something small. And always a great way to empower ourselves. Jupiter, of course, does bring us all kinds of wonderful things, but if there's anything kind of wrong or going sideways in our world, because Jupiter expands things, this is where something could kind of really, how should we say, blow up a little bit, okay? Especially with it being full moon, right? Full moon energy does tend to be highly emotional, quite psychic in its energy as well, can bring things out of the darkness into the light. So you may have something coming to light for you at this full moon. And this can be where it's like, wow, okay, that escalated quickly. But it can be something that needs to escalate quickly, right? So it can be a little bit challenging for some of you, but it ultimately brings you blessings, all right, in that energy. It's a very flexible energy, very mutable, very changeable. So you might find changes a lot easier to navigate at this time. But we also have Jupiter and Venus in a conjunction with this energy. Venus, of course, also does bring us creativity and new beginnings, a connection with the earth. Venus also brings us love and romance. So this can be with some of these planetary aspects that are going on, like a love at first sight energy. If you're single looking for love, you could just potentially meet that special someone over the next couple of weeks. And it may be something very much out of the blue, but with Neptune also playing a role in this lunation, this can potentially be something that you've dreamed about, or something where your intuition has been going absolutely haywire, showing you a million signs, and you just have this like kind of sixth sense that something's going to go on. And this doesn't have to be a romantic partner for some of you that you meet, because Venus rules relationships of all kinds. So with this being money, this can be a new job. This can be something going on in your workplace, and your intuition is like, whoa, there's something going on here. Okay, hold on to your hat. Don't know quite what it is. It could be really interesting, right? This can be where you meet new friends, or you expand your horizons a little bit and you join like a group of people, right? So this can be really, really interesting there in that energy. Maybe you're just seeing a lot of signs pointing you in a certain path, in a certain direction, and you're paying attention to them. Pluto has a very positive aspect with this moon as well. Pluto, of course, our planet of empowerment, transformation. So this is like the power to change, the power to start something new, or the power to let something go, the power to bring something to the next level. And with Pluto here as well, there could, of course, be something that does come out of the woodwork, something that you didn't quite see, and it can be something that is a little bit of a surprise, okay? So, kind of expect the unexpected sometimes, right? Pluto brings things out of the shadow. But lastly, there's something really cool and weird going on at the time of this full moon. We have a number of conjunctions, right? We've got Venus and Jupiter. We also have Neptune conjunct Pisces as well. And we also have Venus. Did I say Venus? Yes, I did. Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune all going on in here. And the really interesting aspect of this is that not only are these planets in conjunction, they're also at their anaretic degree of 29 degrees. Now in astrology, there's 30 degrees, so the 29th degree is the last degree. And this is kind of like a now or never kind of energy. Like something's going to happen or it's not. You're going to do something or you're not. And so this can be really, really, really positive, bringing in big change for some of you, bringing in something big that you've been waiting for or working towards, right? It's like, bam, we're getting ready to let go of the old and step into something new. So you could have a big burst of clarity or a big burst of energy, okay? Keep an open heart and open mind no matter what your situation happens to be. But when things are at their anaretic degree, things can happen, major developments, especially with this being linked with Taurus, linked with Sagittarius, right? We've got that 2 degrees energy with this full moon. There are going to be major developments with money, your resources, your love life, all this kind of stuff. Venus quickly moves into Gemini right after this full moon. So this can be a focus on our plans for the future, starting something new, meeting new people, right? All that kind of stuff. But the really interesting thing is that Neptune, okay, the Neptune, very spiritual, very creative planet, okay, but also one that can bring in dreams or confusion, right, is at its 29th degree, anaretic degree in the sign of Pisces. This is the first time in 100 years that this has happened, so it's a very new energy, new territory. Also, it's stationing for the next 4 months. So this is like an extra dose of powerful, powerful, supercharged energy. So this can be a time of awakening for a lot of people. You might be having some very wild and wacky and interesting dreams. You could be feeling a massive shift, especially in your spiritual self. Your intuition is heightened, right? And so just kind of really pay attention. We're encouraged to go with the flow in this energy, and especially since this hasn't happened in our lifetime before. So we really just kind of have to keep an open heart and an open mind. But be ready for action, though, because we do also, of course, have a sextile with Jupiter and Venus. So this is expansion, growth, new horizons, new beginnings, right? Also, it's got some karmic energy to it as well. Neptune and Pisces, this is the 12th house energy, your subconscious, your spiritual self, the things that are hidden, right? So again, something hidden may come to light. So it can be very, very, very interesting. So we have a lot going on with this moon, okay? But in the Sag energy, freedom of expression, freedom of self, having fun, feeling more joyous, more positive, trusting in your processes, attracting luck and expansion and growth to you, okay? Closing out chapters, moving forward into something new. Remember to embrace a sense of adventure and get ready to take a leap of faith. And that's really the aspects of this moon, all right? Keep that open mind, though. Having said all of that, that was a lot and that was long, okay? But having said all of that, we are now going to go through each sign. We're going to pull a few cards for you, and we're also going to let you know where this is impacting you the most, or where this is having the most effect in your world. We're going to see what sign this is or what house this is landing in for you. So timestamps, description box, and the comment section down below. Jump back and forth, sun, moon, and rising signs, obviously. But if you want to check anything else out for a planetary placement, such as your Venus sign, right, which Venus is playing a key role here, so you may want to check that out as well and see where those are landing for you. So we're going to get started, and we're going to get right into Aries first. Hello there, Aries, and welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading. This is happening in your 9th house. This can be extra sparkly for you. The 9th house is ruled by Jupiter, and it does bring forward Sagittarian energies. This has to do with your spiritual growth, with your faith, your belief systems, right? What you believe in. This also has to do with your higher mind. So some of you could be graduating at this time. You could also be wanting to make some improvements in your knowledge, the things that you know. So you could be embarking on some higher education at this time as well, or kind of looking into it. How do I bring in more opportunities to make money, right? Maybe you need to go back to school. This also has to do with your philosophy, your outlook on life. So this can be changing a little bit, or maybe you're realizing, hey, in the last 6 months, right, I have, kind of evolved. So you could be kind of in a contemplative energy a little bit there, and recognizing and realizing exactly how different you are than where you were previously. The 9th house also brings big ideas, right? So you could be bursting with inspiration, very inspirational energy with Sagittarius, right? You could also be traveling. So maybe you're making some travel plans, you're putting the finishing touches on it, you're embarking on a journey of some kind. And usually with travel in the 9th house, it can have an educational or perhaps spiritual aspect about it. It can also be something that maybe like looks at history. So maybe you go to Europe and you look at castles or architecture or things like that, right? Or maybe you're getting into like Greek mythology or something. But the travel does tend to be like overseas or to like another country, like not so much short trips. So like a bigger trip can be coming in here for you. It also has to do, the 9th house, with publishing. So maybe you're putting the finishing touches on something that you've written. And it might be like a short story, a novel. It could be that maybe you're feeling a little bit more inspired and creative. And especially if you do like any marketing, this is really good for that. Put your finishing touches on your resume, right? Anything to do with writing at all. You don't have to be a big novelist to do it. You might be inclined to put together like a training manual, that kind of thing, right? So you could either just be getting started, or you could be putting those big ideas together, right? And saying, okay, this is the plan. This is where we need to go and do something. But it's all about expansion and growth and looking to the future and getting out, having fun, wrapping things up, finishing things, celebrating your successes as well. We have here the full moon energy, bringing in Pisces energy and the energy of forgive. So this is, of course, full moons are, of course, where we do release, right? We release, we let go. We have the energy of Pluto at the same time as this full moon. Pluto brings you personal empowerment for change and for growth, right? So in this energy, this is how should I want to say that? This is bringing in your personal power to no longer let something from your past dictate your future. We talk about forgiveness all the time, right? And, we do get, sometimes as soon as we start to talk about forgiveness, trigger the angry comments, right? And I'll never forgive this, and I'll never forgive this. Well, the thing is that holding on to anger, things like that is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to get sick from it, right? It's poison. So this is bringing in an extra boost to empower you to find forgiveness in your heart for your own personal health and well-being, for your own peace of mind, so that you can move forward lighter and brighter for a better tomorrow. So this can be a big release for you. Pisces energy does bring that Neptunian energy, very connected with this full moon, and it's related with the 12th house, right? You're done with something. You're ready to move forward. All right. And one thing that we don't talk about, we always talk about forgiveness of other people, but we don't talk about forgiveness of self. So now is not the time to beat yourself up for things that you wish you had done or things that you regret. Now is the time to recognize philosophical energy with your 9th house, recognize the lessons that you've learned, how much wiser you are because of these things, and to move forward with peace and calm in your heart. Your tarot card is the 3 of Wands. Beautiful energy. The 3 of Wands is like expansion, growth, travel, moving forward. Your blocks are removed. The path forward is clear. Exciting times ahead for you. Maybe you are making some travel plans. Maybe you're making plans to put something in motion for yourself, whatever it is. With the 3 of Wands, it's like the skies are opening for you. The doors, the pathways are open for you, and it's clear sailing ahead. And this is where you need to be ready for action. All right. The 3 of Wands, sometimes the shadow aspects of it is that we're waiting for the perfect opportunity, the perfect moment, the perfect time. And we need to understand sometimes that there's a certain amount of beauty in imperfection, right? We want to pay attention to red flags, of course, and, we want to be willing to say no to the stuff that's really not for us, right? But we need to see the possibilities and the potential in certain things and where it can lead us and what we can accomplish and achieve with these opportunities. So whether you're traveling, starting something new, or you're just expanding your horizons in some way, 3 of Wands is an awesome energy. We also have Limitless coming out here for you. Know your worth. Beautiful message coming in here with this full moon. Unlimited potential, unlimited opportunities. Expand your horizons, energy of growth, and know your value, know your worth, and know that you can achieve whatever it is that you set out to achieve, depending how big your goals and dreams are. Some things are short-term goals. Some things are a very long-term goal, right? But you can do it. I'm going to leave that there for you, Aries. I thank you for watching. We're going to move on now to Taurus. Hello there, Taurus, and welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading. This is occurring in your 8th house. This is ruled by Pluto, which can be extra sweet for you guys because, of course, we do have some very positive energy of Pluto coming in, empowering you, help you navigate change. And the 8th house is, of course, all about change and transformation, endings, new beginnings. This is also about shared resources, shared money with other people. This has to do with what you own, okay, and especially if you own something with somebody. So some of you could be, for example, joining your finances with your significant other. Maybe you have some changes going on in your home or your relationship where you're taking something up to the next level. This can also represent some inheritance coming your way as well. The 8th house does deal with that, so maybe something does get handed down to you, and it might be some money, it can be some heirlooms or trinkets in some way. It can be a house, right? You never know. But with this being something you inherit, it can also, because we got a lot of money stuff going on with this full moon, it can also be something in your workplace. Maybe someone quits or retires and you inherit their position. Why? Because you're next in line and probably because you've earned it, right? So this can be really positive for you. Okay, a lot of mystery can revolve around this full moon as well. So especially with the 8th house is where this is occurring for you. Some secret may come to light. There may be something hidden that does get revealed that you have to deal with it. Okay, so it may be something that sets you up for a better tomorrow. But think about if you share money, finances with another person, or you're talking about that, right? Whether it's business partners or romantic partners. And maybe there's something that they need to tell you, right? It's like, I need to tell you my credit's not the greatest, or I need to tell you I have $10,000 on my visa, things like that, or I have some unpaid student loans, because the 8th house has to do with loans as well. So this can be where you kind of clear the air and get everything out in the open in regards to any kind of money or finances that you share with another person. But this can be, because it's a full moon and it can be endings of things, this can be where you're paying off a loan, right? And it's like, woohoo, I'm debt free. Or this can be where you get paid some dividends from some investments that you've made. So this can be really positive for you, and it can bring you a little bit of extra wealth. We have Capricorn energy here for you, full moon, take a reality check, all right? So this is really about getting everything all out in the open, putting all your cards on the table, being honest with yourself and maybe someone else if you've got a partnership there, and make sure that you're looking at everything in its truth, right? Be realistic about your money. Be realistic about how you spend things. Some of you could be going through some changes right now on how you do invest your money or how you do spend it. And now you're like, okay, we got to create a budget. We've got to make sure that we're, spending our money in the right way. We want to make our money work harder for us instead of us working harder for your money. But the reality check could also be some information coming to light for you. This can represent an important conversation that you're having with somebody, and you're like, okay, let's get real. Let's get real. Let's just be honest, and, let's just deal with any kind of issues that we might have, or deal with the futures, making some future plans. But a reality check energy in Capricorn can be kind of bringing the Neptunian energy that we've got with this full moon down to earth a little bit, okay? It's like, get your head out of the clouds, okay? Let's get things down to earth. So this can be where you do have some goals and dreams and visions of the future. And instead of kind of living in your head, living in a fantasy world, this is where you do put a plan in place. So this can really help you make some positive change for a better tomorrow. We have the Two of Coins coming in here for you. So yeah, this can be about finding balance with your money. This can be about balancing out responsibilities financially with another person. The twos do represent the need for balance and harmony, and the Two of Coins shows that there's something not quite right, something a little bit out of alignment. So this is your opportunity where you find the power to make some positive changes. The Two of Coins also does represent decisions, okay? So again, you might have some important decisions, especially about your money or your resources at this time. And if you are looking at your shared money with someone else, right, this can be where your things have gotten a little bit out of whack, all right? And so you're like, okay, we need to get things back on track. You have tons of money and I'm broke all the time. So depending on what equality means to you in your personal relationships with money, this is where you might be making some changes, right? You know, we've got, this is our bills every single month. This is your salary. This is my salary. How do we divvy up this up fairly so that one person isn't living hand to mouth and the other person isn't like, kind of in the lap of luxury, right? So this is where you might divide things up by percentages rather than by dollars, right? You bring in 70% of the household income, I bring in 30, that kind of thing, and divvying things up that way. Right? Fairness and equality, right, can happen with this one. But the Two of Coins also does remind you to be flexible, open, and adaptable. Okay, go with the flow. Don't resist energies. There might be some things that come out of the woodwork. There might be some things that you need to decide. Keeping an open heart and an open mind can help you make a decision easier. And we have manifest coming in here for you. And I love that we've got this energy. Is that even like, there we go. Dream deep and ask for what you want. Something is manifesting in your life, and this is your embracing your personal power to really make some wonderful change or to accept some wonderful changes that are headed your way. That's what I have for you, Taurus. I thank you for watching. Good luck in this full moon. We'll move on now to Gemini. Hello there, Gemini, and welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading. This is happening in your relationship sector. Your 7th house is ruled by Venus, okay, and it is Libra energy. So balance, fairness, and equality in relationships could be your focus at this time. And if there's something a little bit out of whack there, this can be an opportunity for you to bring things back into harmony. Of course, with it being a full moon, there could be some emotional conversations that need to be had, okay? And maybe there are some important decisions that are being made at this full moon in regards to your relationship. But this does really put a focus on on other people, your romantic interests, your business partnerships, your friendships as well, and how things are working for you, right? So, do you find, a lot of people are going through a transformation, especially with people they connect with. And, so this could be where you're asking yourself the questions, what am I getting out of this relationship? Is this one-sided, right? Is this, where I am the one that's give, and the other person is just take, and what am I getting in return, right? Because there's a fine line between being generous and helpful and all of that kind of stuff and being taken advantage of, right? So this can be where you're really looking at some of your relationships in your life and trying to make a decision there. Am I getting something out of this, right? Or am I still feeling connected with these people? And so you could have an opportunity here to right some wrongs, get things back on track. You could have an opportunity here to maybe meet some new people, okay? But you could be having some changes going on in some of your relationships. The 7th house can also represent contracts. So this can be, where you fulfilled a contractual obligation. Some of you may have a relationship that's going up to the next level because we got some wonderful energy here, right? And so you could be getting proposals, or maybe you're getting married at this time over the next couple of weeks, or, making plans for a marriage or elevating your relationship relationship in some positive way. If you are single and looking for love, this can be a wonderful, wonderful energy for you guys. You're opening the doors, opening the path to welcoming someone new in your life. So whether your relationships are changing, maybe ending sometimes with full moon energy, or whether you're welcoming in someone new, very much people-y energy here for you guys. We have Virgo energy, assess the situation. So some of you may be really looking again at exactly what we just said, looking at your partnerships in your life. What companies am I partnered up with? Am I in the right department in my workplace? Are my friendships, am I still feeling connected with people, or am I feeling like we've been drifting apart, right? Do I feel like getting out there and meeting new people, right? Whatever your situation happens to be, assessing something, evaluating something, and preparing maybe to make some change or get something, kind of back on track, or refocus on the people and the connections that are really important to you. Okay. We have here the Page of Wands, but the Page of Wands is in the reverse. Ooh, okay. So the Page of Wands can represent something new. Okay. But it can represent in the reverse, it can represent here that something is preventing you from moving forward, or we do need to let go of something. It's like, I can't get out there and meet new people because there's something standing in my way, right? Whenever we have a reversal, it's like a disruption of energy, okay? So normally the Page of Wands is very exciting energy, right? Very fun-loving, very adventurous, right? Feeling very inspired and very creative. So again, there could be something here that's blocking you, whether it's people, whether it's something within yourself, maybe it's some fear. So again, this Virgo energy kind of brings us back down to earth and has us taking a step back and assessing our relationships, right? And relationships are complex. They're not always easy. And because of course they do involve other people, right? So this is really a focus on what's holding me back, right? Where do I need to expand? What new do I need to try? Okay, because, this is like an unwillingness to try new things or meet new people, right? That kind of thing. This can be where something has kind of hit a brick wall, right? And we need to figure out what is our path forward? Do we have a path forward, right? So an assessment kind of energy here for you. The Page of Wands in reverse, you can also represent a delay, okay? And something, it can also represent a rejection, right? So, again, if you're single looking for new love, there can be some magic in the air for some of you, but for others of you, you kind of need to take that step back and say, am I ready? What do I want out of love, or what do I want out of a relationship, right? Am I ready to open my heart? Do I trust myself, or am I ready to trust other people? So in this energy, it's like you're almost ready to move forward, but you're just making sure that you know what you want. You're in a good place right now. Same thing if you are talking about business partnerships as well. It's like, am I ready for something new, or is there any growth where I am right now? Because the pages can represent, an uptick, right? So like the next level of something. And with this being in reverse, this can be like, in your business partnerships, your business relationships, right? This can be like the proverbial glass ceiling. It's like, I want growth. I want to take something to the next level. I want a promotion. I want a raise. I want to do all these things, but I don't feel I have that opportunity. So this is where you might be assessing that situation. Can I create an opportunity, or do I need to let something go? So this can be a big transformative energy coming in for a lot of you. And again, relationships and partnerships of all kinds. So something to think about, something to assess, but don't forget to take action, because the Page of Wands loves action, loves adventure, loves trying new things. Okay, but in the reverse here, it's like, you got to deal with something or get something out of the way before you're ready. Okay. But I feel like here that you will figure it out. Okay. And quite quickly as well, right? We have full moon. And if I can get that to focus for you, I don't know if I can. There we go. Protect your energy and hold your stars close. All right. Full moon energy does tend to be emotional. it can be quite sometimes explosive, especially with other people. All right. So whatever your situation happens to be, protect your energy. This is really saying that, with this energies that's coming out here with these messages, this is going to be a really good full moon for you to find some quiet space the couple days before, a couple days after, or if you can, right on full moon day, because finding that quiet space for yourself, quieting your conscious mind and just connecting with your energy is kind of really you're probably gonna get some answers. You're probably gonna get some clarity about something, okay? But whatever your situation is, ground and protect your energy, okay? And, really have a look at the future and see where you want to go. Very futuristic energy that we've got, right? Jupiter, Sagittarius, looking out into the great blue horizon, okay? And so this is like, take the step back before you take a big leap forward. That's what I have for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. Good luck in this full moon. We're going to move on now to Cancer. Hello there, Cancer. Welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading. You may be very focused on your health, happiness, and well-being at this full moon. And this is happening in your 6th house. And this does focus on your health. It focuses on healing. It focuses on your fitness, your physical fitness, your diet, and your daily routines, your habits, patterns, and behaviors. So you could be out with the old and in with the new. You could be like, I have procrastinated long enough. I'm going to get more physically fit. I am going to go to the doctor and get that checkup that I've been putting off for the last 3 years, So this is really kind of a focus on yourself, right? Your physical well-being, your mental, your spiritual, your emotional well-being, right? All of that kind of stuff. But this can sometimes be a little bit of a tricky house for any kind of lunation to land in, because it does have to do with your daily habits. And so you could be wanting to really make some significant inroads into making better daily choices for yourself, right? And it's everything from your physical fitness to your, what kind of food you eat, right? And, even to, how you manage your time. Right? Are you a person who normally, your alarm goes off in the morning and maybe you hit the snooze button 5 or 6 times before you finally ooze yourself out of bed, right? Or are you one of those people where your alarm goes off, maybe you're even awake a minute before the alarm and boop, you're out of bed, you're grabbing a coffee, you're getting, you're having a shower, and maybe not, that's a great time for you to start some fitness routine, right? So you could be experiencing some changes here. You could be very much clearing out old bad habits with this energy. So really use this to your advantage. This gives you some positivity, some optimism, gives you some energy, and it's very supportive of making very positive changes. The 6th house does also have to do with your service to others. Right? How can I be more helpful to people around me? How can I give back to maybe my neighborhood? Can I help my neighbor, right? Maybe you have a neighbor that's elderly, or maybe their physical fitness isn't quite, up to snuff. And maybe you help them once in a while, maybe mow their lawn, or maybe they've got like an overgrown tree and you're like, you know what, I'm going to help you out and I'm going to do that. So you could be kind of focused on, maybe I'm going to do one thing a week that helps other people out or something, and, that kind of thing. And that can really have a lot of very positive ripple effect. This also has to do with your pets. So some of you could be getting a new pet. You could be taking your pet to the vet, right? That kind of thing. Great time for them to have a checkup as well as you. But let's see what we've got coming in for you. And we've got Leo energy, and it's about lighten up. Don't take everything so seriously. This is about having fun. And the Sagittarian energy that we've got coming in here with this moon is about having fun and joy and taking pleasure out of life and, getting active, all that kind of stuff. So, this can really be that message. Think about how you can take things or do things with a lighter approach, right? Sure, maybe you want to lose some weight. All right, but it doesn't all have to be, very doom and gloom, or very, I have to do this and I have to do this. It doesn't have to be so constrictive. How can you lighten it up a little bit, right? You want to get more physically active. Maybe you don't want to run 5 kilometers in the morning. Ew, boring, right? Boring, and man, that takes a long time. So maybe you can get the same results by joining like a Zumba class or something, just something a little bit more interesting. Or maybe you dig out the old VHS or something and you do the the Richard Simmons Sweating to the Oldies, right? Something that you can do in your living room, but something that's kind of fun and enjoyable at the same time. Something that kind of takes the pressure off, right? And lightens things up just a little bit, right? It's also about, yes, you might have some goals. You might have some things that you want to accomplish, especially in regards to your personal self, but don't be so hard on yourself. You could be really realizing how far you've come. With this full moon, I have come so far. Give yourself a pat on the back. Did you maybe fall short of achieving a goal? Maybe. But don't be so hard on yourself in this energy. All right? Pick up the pieces, pick up the pace, and keep on going, right? So don't be so hard on yourself. Don't get down on yourself, right? It's not good for anyone. And this is, really about, especially if you're trying to change habits. Changing habits can be super hard, all right? Ask the universe for a little bit of help to release bad habits and to embrace new ones, that kind of thing. But if you do fall off the bandwagon, or if you do take a little bit of a backslide somewhere, don't beat yourself up. Bring yourself back to center, refocus yourself, and keep on going forward, right? We're very good as humans beating ourselves up. We have the 10 of Cups. Your personal health, happiness, and well-being. Here you go. There could have some happy events, some joyous energy that comes in here with the 10 of Cups. This can be, happy home, happy family, happy relationships, happy you. It's also where you're being really optimistic about any goals that you've set for yourself. And some of you could be hitting some really big milestone. So perhaps since we've had that new moon in Sagittarius 6 months ago, this is where if you've been trying to lose weight, maybe you've been avoiding the scale, right? Smart, right? Very smart. The scale does lie, okay? But maybe you've been avoiding the scale and you just know that you've been successful because your clothes are getting baggier, right? And you have to go out and buy new ones, right? Or maybe, instead of dying halfway around the block, if you were been trying to, get more physically in shape, right? You've been going for a run around the block or something like that. And your first time out, you just about collapsed at the end of your street. And now you're like, I can do 3K, right? And so you could be realizing some significant milestone that you have reached. The 10 of Cups can also represent perhaps some new additions into your family as well. So this can be about children, or this can be, of course, with your 6th house, about pets. Now we do have a rainbow on that. And, so of course, there could be a possibility of a pet crossing over that rainbow bridge. But the message here for this is trust that they are happy and that they are healthy when they do cross over into that field of dreams, living their best life. And one day in the long, long distant future down the road, they will be there waiting for you again, right? We've all been there. And big hugs to you if that is you. We also have breakthrough coming in here for you guys. Love this energy. For a star to be born, it must first collapse. This is not your destruction. This is your birth. Okay? Remember, we've got to break things down to rebuild them. So if you've been going through some tough times, or you do feel that something is coming to an end for you, full moon energy, it can happen. Okay? Remember, this is a rebuilding moment. This is not the end. I'll leave that there for you guys. Good luck in this full moon. I thank you for watching, and we are going to move on now to Leo. Hello there, Leo, and welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading. Are you ready to have some fun? This is going to be this really does line up to be a very pleasant full moon for you guys. This is happening in your 5th house. Of course, this is your home house here, ruled by the sun, your energy. Okay, so you should be very comfortable in this energy. Your 5th house has to do with the things that bring you pleasure, happiness, joy. This is a very creative energy focused on your hobbies, your interests, right? That kind of thing. There's also a little bit of love and romance that happens in the 5th house, but just be a little bit aware because it can also bring in a little bit of drama. Okay, so just a heads up for you there. But this can bring out some very pleasant energy, focused on fun, focused on happiness. So perhaps some of you here, if you've been, learning a craft, learning a hobby of some kind, right? This is where you could be looking back and seeing exactly how much progress that you've made over the last 6 months. And you're like, wow, I've actually achieved something. Oh my goodness, didn't think that I made any progress, but maybe it's something where, if you're learning a musical instrument, right? Maybe you took a video of yourself back when you first started, and now you're like, I could play a whole song, right? So give yourself a big pat on the back. This can also be where you're a little bit more focused on yourself, and you're like, I've always wanted to do this thing, or I need to pick up this hobby that I used to do and I haven't had time for. And you might be feeling like you really need that creative outlet. And, so you could be picking back up a hobby, okay, or you could be ready to pick up something new, but something fun. But this is a great energy for a little bit of love and romance. And so if you are already coupled up with somebody, this can be where, maybe you do have just a little extra love in the air. You could have a surprise at this time. So maybe your significant other prepares a romantic dinner for you, or maybe you go on a romantic getaway with your other half, your other person, or maybe you're just feeling a little bit more snuggly in this energy. This can also represent if you're single looking for new love. This can be a really lucky, fortunate turn of events for you. So you could be potentially meeting someone new. But all kinds of fun and pleasure and joy does come out of your 5th house. But because it's a full moon and it can be an end of something, you might also be clearing the path and getting rid of something that is standing in your way of enjoying life. So you could be making some choices at this time as well. We have full moon energy, and this is bringing in Aries influence, cool your emotions. Remember, we just said your 5th house can bring in a little bit of drama. Okay, so remember, ground and protect your energy, okay? Remember that full moons can be very emotionally charged, and especially in a fire sign, okay? So this can be very fiery, passionate energy, which can be really quite exciting, right? But it can also bring about the shadow side of that, right? Someone gets a little bit superheated if you're trying to have a conversation. Something can get blown out of proportion and that kind of thing. So this is the message from the universe to you, saying that you are the one that needs to keep a cool head. All right, calm, cool, and collected. Okay, with this energy. This can also be where you're really excited about something, okay, and you want to just rush into something, jump into something with both feet, which is great, but there may be some details that you need to pay attention to as well. All right, so yes, sometimes we do get overly excited about something, and then we forget about the fact that, oh yeah, I have to pay for this thing, or oh yeah, do I have time for this, right? So you could be, in the art store, the music store or something, and you're like, I want to learn guitar, and the next thing you know, you buy a $1,200 guitar, and you're like, oh, maybe I should have started with the $100 one, right? So, you can get overly excited about something in this energy, so just be a little aware of that. We have the King of Swords coming out here for you. So you could be having an incredibly important conversation with somebody, okay? This can be clearing the air. This can be figuring out your future. This can be maybe someone asks and answers a very important question. So this can be very important or very enlightening for you. The King of Swords can be someone who is able to help you out in some way. The King of Swords as a person would be someone who's very wise, something who's very intellectual, someone who has a lot of knowledge or wisdom, right? This can be someone who is a real good negotiator. They can be like a legal brain, that kind of thing, right? So, perhaps if there's something that you want to do, this can be a really good friend that you take along, and maybe this person can help you get something at a discount or help you recognize the value in something, right? So you might just, if you go to the art store, the music store, you could take someone who's experienced in these kind of things to help you to make sure that you're not making an emotional decision, probably with a bunch of money, okay? So just be aware of that, all right? But yes, it could be a very important conversation that you do have with yourself or with somebody in this energy. But the King of Swords can also represent you, and this is your ability to make the right decisions for yourself, right? You've got clarity, you've got a sense of purpose. You're making sure that you're making the right decisions and choices for yourself. But the Kings is very intellectual, very willing to learn in this energy. So I do feel that some of you are realizing how much you have learned so far in something that you've been doing, some endeavor. And I think that some of you are very much open to, learning something new or picking something back up that you've forgotten how to do or that you just haven't had time to do for a long time, right? So like I said, very creative energy, and we can be creative in about a million different ways. So, but great energy. The Kings take charge. They take the lead. All right. And this Aries energy is taking charge and taking the lead as well and getting something started or getting something off the ground. Very fiery, very passionate, and very exciting kind of energy that's there for you guys. We also have the dark. Take a moment to sit under the star-speckled sky, listening to crickets and breathing in the cool night air. This is relating back to your cool your emotions energy. All right. Remember, especially if you're dealing with like money and things like that, try not to make emotionally charged decisions with money. Okay, take a step back. When we take the step back, we engage with our energy, we engage with our heart space, but we quiet our conscious mind. Okay, this is where we do a bit of a gut check. Am I making the right decision? Am I doing the right thing for myself, for my future, right? And so it's important that we do sometimes take a step back before we take a massive leap forward. And this is what this is telling you to do. So I'm going to leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching. Good luck in this full moon. And we are going to move on now to Virgo. Hello there, Virgo. Welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading. You'll be experiencing this centered around your house, your home, your family. This is happening in your fourth house ruled by the moon. So it's a very comfortable kind of energy, but you may be finding yourself spending a little bit more time at home with this energy. If you have any issues that have been going on around your house, maybe something with neighbors or something within your family unit itself, this can be where things do get resolved, right? Full moons are about completions, and so this could be happening for you guys. There could be something that you discover about your family here in this energy as well, because the fourth house does have to do with your ancestors. And so perhaps there's something about some family history, maybe something from relatives that are no longer here. So if you've been doing any kind of research on your family tree, or maybe you're digging into your family medical history, right? There's a purpose for it. You could be discovering something. You could also have, one of your parents all of a sudden start to, kind of talk about, some of their childhood and their past, and you might find out some information that you just didn't know. So it can be be really interesting sometimes in that energy. But this does have to do with your home, your foundations that you've built. And so you could be buying a new house. You could be sprucing up your house a little bit, maybe doing some reorganization or maybe beautification of your home. Remember, we do have this, kind of inspiring energy that comes in with Sagittarius, but we also have the beauty that comes in with Venus. So you could be tending to your garden, planting some plants, maybe even bringing in the outside inside, right? Put in some house plants, that kind of thing. You could be painting your walls, or maybe buying like some new throw pillows for your couch or something that just brings a little bit more happiness and joy and beauty into your house. But this is a very, usually very quiet energy with the fourth house, and it's just really about feeling safe and secure in your world. And if there's something going on where you are not feeling safe and secure, it's the perfect time, very supportive energy to make some changes. This does also really have to do with your parents, your family, and children. And so because we do have maybe a surprise element that's coming in here with this moon, maybe someone has like a surprise pregnancy. We do have Venus, right? So, Venus is the fertility card, right? Or the fertility energy, pregnancy, right? So you could have that going on. If you are single and looking for new love, maybe you meet somebody that already has children in there as well. So a lot of family things, a lot of home things, and it's a perfect time to, kind of nurture yourself or the people that you live with. We have here, oh, lovely. We've got Cancerian energy, relax. Beautiful. Okay. How synchronistic is that? That is wonderful energy. Relax. Take a step back. Chill out, spend some time at home, throw on the barbecue, maybe invite some people over, or maybe don't invite anyone over if you're awfully social anyway. And so this can be really lovely, calm, nurturing, down-to-earth kind of energy in here for you. This is also the universe saying to you, relax, I've got your back. So if you are manifesting things into your life and you're starting to think, oh my God, nothing's happening, right? Just the universe is saying, take a step back. Let me do the hard work. You've already done some. Be ready for some action, or be ready to make some change. Go with the flow, right? But let me help you. So just relax in that energy. Lovely, peaceful, calm energy there for you. We have the Eight of Coins coming in here as well. And this can show a very productive and a very busy energy. The Eight of Coins is about working with your hands. So maybe some of you have like some home improvement projects that you want to do. And instead of paying someone, maybe you're like, I got this. I can do this. I can figure it out. Because the Eight of Coins, you're willing to learn as well. And this is where the lessons that you've looked up, right? This is where you do something with it. So, if you want to maybe learn how to, do some landscaping around your house, build a wall, that kind of thing, right? Or, maybe you want to like build some shelves in the corner of your house or something like that, right? Fix your dishwasher, right? This is where you can do some research, look some things up, and then apply what you've learned in a very practical way. The Eight of Coins is one where, we do pay attention to details, where we are busy, but we show results for what we've been busy with. It's also one of paying attention to some details. So again, with like the fourth house, you could be learning something about your family history. You could be learning something about your parents. Maybe you learn something about you, right? In this energy. What do I want? What makes me feel safe and secure? What makes me feel like I've got feet planted on the ground and I've developed good foundation and good roots, right? So, but this is also an energy here, the Eight of Coins, where not only do we learn something, we grow, we make something, and we see the results of what we've done. It's also one where we're ready to level up. And we're ready to get rewarded for all of the hard work, effort, and dedication that we've put into something. And so this can be where you are looking to say, okay, yeah, I need a bigger boat. I need a bigger house, right? Or I want to move to a better neighborhood. So you could have something going on around your home where you are actually moving to a new house or making the plans to do that, right? And this can be really beneficial for you. There could also potentially be some growth in your family as well, taking things up a notch. So again, maybe someone is adding You might be contemplating talking about starting a family, adding to your family. And again, there could be maybe a little bit of a surprise coming in there for you as well. We also have here limitless. All right, know your worth. Yes, it's important to know your worth. Once we know what we are worth, we don't settle for second best, right? The eight of Pentacles, right? The Eight of Coins. You've learned a lot. You have a lot of experience. You have a lot of knowledge, right? And now is the time for you to, get your just rewards, right? And like we said, the Eight of Coins is one of leveling up. Right? So if you've been going to school, this might be where you graduate. This is where you're looking at your bank account and you're looking at your house and your home where you live and your family and all these things. And you're like, I want to be a better provider, or I want to make more money, or I want to be able to afford the nice things. So with the Eight of Coins, you could be looking to level up in your career path, right? Which is you're ready for more responsibility with the Eight of Coins. But you could also be contemplating going back to school and learning some new skills or honing your skills that gives you a little bit more leverage in your workplace to make some more money so that you can afford the things that make you feel safe and secure with a house, with a home in a neighborhood that you want to be in, right? And perhaps with that Eight of Coins very associated with learning, this can be where I want to move to a neighborhood where my kids can go to a good school, right? Those kind of things. But whatever your situation is, you know your worth, right? Don't settle for second best, and don't let anyone undermine you or pay you less than what you're worth. All right. It could be a great time for some moves in your finances. All right. I'm going to leave that there for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. Good luck in this full moon. We're going to move on now to Libra. Hello, Libra. Welcome to your full moon and Sagittarius reading. This is happening in your third house, and this is ruled by Mercury, which brings forth some Gemini energy. So we do have right around this full moon, we're at the very beginning of Gemini season. So you might find that you're a little bit more clear in things that you want to do. You've got more clarity. You've got more focus. This is also a faster moving energy than what we've been in. Taurus is very slow energy. And so this can be where things are just kind of picking up the pace a little bit. You find it easier to make decisions. Your conversations are a little bit more, how should we say, more to the point, right? Rather than, kind of someone telling a big long story, that kind of thing, right? It's like just straight, short, sweet, to the point. This is the third house energy, has to do with all kinds of communication, your thoughts, also has to do with technology. And with this being a full moon, possibly bringing you in something new, you could be potentially upgrading your technology in some way, right? So if you've got maybe your phone is a few years old and maybe it's just getting a little bit slow and run down and your screen is cracked and you're running out of memory all the time and it's super annoying, you might be like, you know what, forget this. I'm going to toss this. It's time I got myself something new. And it's like, whew, a breath of fresh air, right? It's like, whoa, it propels you forward. Same thing with like a computer or anything like that. You could also find yourself at this time maybe getting some answers or communicating a little bit more with your emails, with your text messages, that kind of thing. And this can be really positive for you. The third house also has to do with short trips and travel. So some of you could be potentially like, I want to have more fun, right? Sagittarian energy brings in a sense of joy, of freedom, of exploration and adventure. And so you could be planning some short trips. Maybe you're just at a situation where you don't have a lot of time. Maybe you've used up some vacation time or you don't want to burn it all in one shot. And this can be where you're like, let's hop in the car and let's go somewhere for the weekend. It doesn't have to be anywhere expensive, but let's just go and try something new, get a change of scenery, because your third house also has to do with your neighborhoods, right? So, this can be, if you've got construction going on in your neighborhood, you're like, let's get out of Dodge for a little bit. If you're just feeling a little bit kind of trapped or whatever, right? It's like, let's just go out and have a little bit of fun. With your neighborhood energy coming in here as well, you could be moving to a new neighborhood or you could be getting some new neighbors. So this can be really interesting. Maybe you find that, some neighbors that you either, well, I don't know, it's very positive. So if you didn't like one of your neighbors, they might be leaving your neighborhood and you're like, yes, but then you're also like, what are we going to get to replace them? But you could get someone really positive and maybe someone that you could potentially be friends with, or at least have like a really good neighborly conversation with. But again, you might have some neighbors leaving that you actually do like. And so there's a little bit of melancholy in there with that. But, you say, okay, well, let's keep in touch via our social media and all that kind of stuff. But again, you could be, getting new neighbors there that, hey, maybe they actually seem okay, right? We never quite know what we're going to get, right? But in this energy, this really does highlight your chattiness, your social life. It also is like the big picture energy, seeing things a little bit differently, your perception about life, about your neighborhood, about people, about yourself, your perceptions may be changing a little bit, and it's very much an open mind energy here for you as well. So expansion of the mind for you guys. But it does have to do with community. So maybe you're wanting to have a little bit more involvement in your community, with it being your neighborhood. You might want to set up like a neighborhood watch, that kind of thing, right? Or maybe have like a community barbecue, like a get together or a garage sale, that kind of stuff, right? So something with you getting a little bit more involved in talking to your community a little bit more. Ooh, we have full moon and Sagittarius. See the bigger picture. Look at the card that you guys got. This is beautiful here, Libra. All right, this is things coming to fruition for you. This is you opening your mind, communicating, getting outside, talking to people, being a little bit more social. This is about you seeing the potential that your goals and your dreams have, right? So this is a wonderful energy. See the bigger picture, keep an open mind, look at things from a different perspective, see the potential and possibilities of all kinds of things. You could be embarking on new adventures, but you could also be having something really positive come to fruition for you. Love that this energy has come on quite very, very synchronistic in that for you guys. And of course, with Venus at play for you, Venus is your chart ruler, right? So this can be very sweet for you. This can be where you might get something that you want. Jupiter is at play. Jupiter likes to bring us things. And with the Venus energy, friends and family and happiness and joy and, just like all around a really positive vibe. So you could just feel like things are starting to fall in place for you. We have the Page of Cups coming in here, so this is lovely energy. This does bring in some creativity for you. The Page of Cups can represent some really positive news. It can represent a gift being given to you of some kind. It can be you feeling a little extra creative as well. So perhaps, you beautify up your neighborhood a little bit, or perhaps you, get something or buy something that makes you really happy, right? And it's like, ooh, this is lovely, right? Because it's new. The pages do bring in new and refreshing energy, especially the Page of Cups, your sense of joy and wonder and happiness and fulfillment and optimism here. But the Page of Cups especially brings in a surprise. And it's a positive surprise. This page is in the upright, so she is bringing you in something really exciting. So this can represent new people, and it's like, oh, new people. Oh, I'm surprised. They're actually really quite pleasant. I'm glad to have them here. This can be where, maybe your computer or your cell phone kicks the bucket, and now you get a new one, and maybe the surprise for you is that you all of a sudden find the resources, the money that you need to pay for it, or maybe you get a smoking deal, and this can be really exciting for you, right? And it's like, oh, you feel like a little kid again, right? Kid in a candy, you're unpacking your packages and your boxes and you're setting something up and it's fun, right? But the Page of Cups does speak to your inner child and your sense of joy and wonder and fun. And, so again, maybe you're feeling a little bit adventurous with all of this energy. If you are single, the Page of Cups can potentially represent that your social life is heating up a little bit and there's a potential to find new love. If you are already coupled up with somebody, perhaps you are talking about the future with this person, and they may as well bring you a gift. So maybe there's a little bit of extra love and romance in your horizon with a relationship that's taking shape. This can be very lovely, but yes, a little bit of a happy surprise may come to you. Pay attention to your intuition, any kind of signs that you see as well, because this full moon is very much impacting you in an incredibly positive way. And with the Page of Cups coming in here, this very spiritual energy, a little bit of an awakening energy. And so watch for signs, symbols, synchronicities of all kinds. Pay attention to your dreams as well, because you just never know what messages may be coming your way. We have North Star energy, hold your ground and shine bright and unwavering. Beautiful. The North Star, this gives you a sense of direction of where do I want to go? What do I want to do? It gives you clarity on things. The North Star, if we look at a compass, the north, all roads point north, right? And so in this energy, you're really looking at your future, and something is going on that makes your future a little bit brighter than what it has been previously. You might need to dig in your heels and, really stick to your clear convictions, right? Because for some people with this full moon, there could be some breakups and shakeups, but it gives you freedom, right? Freedom is the order of the day. Freedom to follow your goals and dreams. You could be breaking up with old patterns, habits, and behaviors, and you're more positive about what the future is ahead for you. But the North energy, your North Node energy as well, does give you some fated events. So there could be some things going on that are just meant to happen. I'm going to leave that there for you guys. Good luck in this full moon. I thank you for watching. We're going to move on now to Scorpio. Hello there, Scorpio. Welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading. This could be super positive for you. This is happening in your second house, which has to do with money, ruled by Taurus, ruled by Venus, brings in this Taurus energy for you. This has to do with a focus on your material and your physical things in your life, right? So the things that you own, the things you possess, your physical world in all forms, right? So the material things that are around you. This has to do with your work income. So how you make your money, but also how you spend your money, how you invest your money. This also really has to do with your sense of value and your sense of worth. So in this full moon, you could have some investments that come to fruition. You could also be discovering that how you've been managing or handling your money so far maybe has run its course and it's time to change direction a little bit. You could be finding opportunities, money in unexpected places at this time as well. Who doesn't need a little bit of extra cash? Or maybe if there's something that you want to buy, you might find something on sale and it's a very pleasant surprise. But this is about your self-esteem and, your value and your sense of worth. So if you're in any kind of situation, whether it's, your workplace situation or even relationships as well, because it's ruled by Venus, okay, so love and all that kind of stuff. So whatever relationship that you have, or maybe you're not being treated as an equal, or maybe you're not being paid what you're worth, someone's taking advantage of you, perhaps now can be the time here where you are like, you know what, it's time for me to break free of this situation, expand my horizons, and see if I can better my situation in some way. So this can be quite the turning point for you to find something a little bit better than what you've got right now. But again, some of you could be having some surprises that brings growth and possibilities to you as well. So you could be getting a bonus, a raise. You could be opening the doors to a promotion, right? Or perhaps even looking at a new career path or a new job, something that maybe gives you more opportunity for financial freedom, or maybe a little bit more freedom in your working day. So very interesting energies coming in, loving here with the second house. So very, very much on point for you guys. We have new moon in Gemini, think it through. Now, as we are, of course, experience this full moon, we're at the very beginning of Gemini season. And the Gemini new moon is 2 weeks from this full moon. So this can be a really great time for you to really think about where you want to grow, where you want to expand your horizons. What does freedom mean to you? Financial freedom, personal freedom, right? What really excites you? And this is like, okay, the next couple of weeks are going to be really important for you to kind of get clarity, get a little bit of focus, see the possibilities, see the potential, work some things out, and then set some intentions there with that new moon in Gemini. You could be getting quite the epiphany in here as well. You could be discovering some information and making some important decisions. All right. But the think it through energy is also a reminder not to not to make rash decisions, especially when it comes to money. All right. And sometimes we can get really excited about opportunities, or we can get really excited about, oh my God, look, I found this thing on sale. It's on Facebook Marketplace and I've never seen this before. And oh my goodness, look at this. It's a deal too good to pass up. And sometimes we get so excited and so caught up in the moment that we don't think about, but do I really need this thing? Right? Like, is this going to bring value to, me or my surroundings, right? Or is it just something where I'm caught up in the heat of the moment? So believe you me, I know from experience, don't make emotional decisions with large sums of money, okay? It doesn't usually work out too well, so make sure you think it through and, just take a step back, right? Put your emotions aside a little bit, even if you're really excited, and then say, okay, is this really what I want? Do I have room for this in my life? Is this going to make a better future and a better tomorrow for myself? And then make your decision, right? We do sometimes need to do a little bit of a gut check, especially when we're about to act a little bit impulsive, okay? So just a reminder, it's not saying don't do anything. It's just saying, hold on, let's just reevaluate or assess something. Let's make sure we're making the right decisions. But set some intentions for yourself as well, because this is bringing in some new energy, especially between this full moon and the new moon in Gemini. So this big 2-week period right here, very important for you, I feel, in this energy to make some changes or to get some clarity, or just to figure out even what it is you even want, right? What's going to make me happy, right? Maybe it's not money. Maybe it's, something that you want to create. Maybe it's a job you love that maybe you have to take a pay cut for, but it's going to bring you a lot more happiness and joy for your future. And maybe it actually has a lot more possibilities for growth, right? So sometimes we do need to think about things. We also have the 10 of Cups here, and the 10 of Cups is a wonderful card. This is happy home, happy family, happy you, happy children. So this is all kinds of happiness, an abundance of happiness and joy. So you could be getting some really good news. You could be feeling really positive about yourself. You might have something coming to fruition for you at this time, whether it's some doors opening for you, ready for you to step through, or whether it is something coming into your physical experience. You might get some really good news, or you could actually have some financial stability and growth coming in there as well. With the 10 of Cups, we feel happy, safe, and secure with our relationships with ourselves and with our environment. So this can be where things are coming together for you and you're just starting to feel like, yeah, my life is pretty good. Okay. And if you're not feeling that your life is pretty good, your focus is on your happiness and your well-being. Happy for me, happy for my family, happy for my children, right? Happy for my future, whatever that looks like to you. So it's a really super positive energy all around here for you with that. The 10 of Cups does also bring in the rainbows. It brings in a little bit of magic, okay? But rainbows also represent a little bit of mystery and wonder, so maybe a little bit of a surprise. Of course, the rainbows, do carry the very mystical and magical pot of gold at the end of it, so you might be finding whatever your pot of gold is for you. But this does show unlimited potential and possibilities for you as well. So it's a beautiful energy there, and harness that rainbow, as they say. We have expand. I don't know if that's going to focus. There you go. Expand. Growth is often uncomfortable and messy, but necessary. Sometimes we've got to shake things up to get things in the right direction. And we have eclipse. Celebrate cycles. Now, of course, we have just come out of eclipse season, right? This is a wonderful full moon where something may actually come to fruition for you, and it's because of some eclipse cycle that we've had. The cycles of the lunations that we have, everything follows a 28-day cycle, but it also follows a 6-month or longer cycle as well. So in this particular full moon, we're looking back to the new moon in Sagittarius, so the beginning of December of 2023. Where were you at? What were your intentions? But we can also look back just a little bit more to the eclipse cycles that were happening in the fall of 2023 as well. What was shaking up in your life? What were you doing new? What changes were you making? What new sense of direction did you have at that time? And this is where you might get something to celebrate as a result of something that had initiated months ago. All right. But this is also saying to you here that you're on the right track. If you've set any kind of intentions or had changes that are going on as a result of the eclipses that we just had, celebrate all of your little milestones every step of your way, even if they are tiny, even if they are small, right? Maybe at work you get all of a sudden, a $50 gift card to go and get some groceries or something, right? Sometimes employers hand those things out and it's like not a huge amount, but it could come in right at the right time, right? Maybe you're a few days before payday and this $50 can actually really help you out and go a long way, right? And so it's a little bit of pressure off. Celebrate those little things. It's the little things that really add up into the big things. And sometimes the little things is what we ignore, right? It's like, oh yeah, but that's just little. That's not really what I was looking for, right? But when we add those up, right, they really come out into something really abundant and really wonderful. So celebrate the cycles in your life. Celebrate the milestones that you hit every single step of the way. And when we show gratitude to the universe, right, what do we get? More things to be grateful for and more things to celebrate. Now, there could be something that's been triggered at one of these eclipse cycles that we've had that is really setting you up for expansion and growth and for some really positive things. I'm going to leave that there for you guys. Good luck in this full moon. We're going to move on now to Sagittarius. Hello there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your full moon reading. Are you guys excited? This is a really exciting full moon, super abundant, super positive. You could really be getting some sort of wonderful surprise at this time. You could be getting some money. You could be finding some opportunities. You could have something coming to fruition for you, but you could also just be experiencing more excitement in your life. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more sociable in this energy, but you could be feeling a little extra lucky as well. So super positive for you guys. Now, of course, this lunation is happening in your first house. So with full moon energy, you could be, kind of finished with a certain situation, or you could be finished with something and you're ready to maybe make some changes and switch something up. And in your first house, this has to do with your first, all the firsts, right? The first impressions that you give people, yourself, right? Your personality, the face that you put out into the world, your appearance, your attitude, your approach to life. So you could really be setting yourself up for something a little better. Maybe you are considering getting a new haircut. Okay, I'm a Saggy rising. My hair has grown super, super long right to the middle of my back. Where I live, we're coming into summer and oh man, is it ever feeling hot and sweaty, right? So I'm like, I want to cut off all my hair. But I know better than to be impulsive because I'll probably do something that I regret in about 2 weeks' time. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm making, getting the appropriate length cut off, right? It takes a long time to grow it back. But you could be getting a haircut, experimenting with some hair colors. Perhaps you're going to get like a hair treatment, right? Venus is at play with this full moon, and Venus focuses on beauty, right? And so beautification of something there. And even if you're not going to chop off your hair, maybe you're just going to get like a moisture conditioning treatment and things like that, right? But this can also really represent your approach to life. And so you could be shedding your old skin, shedding your old self, and just becoming a little bit different, but still you. Okay, you're not like shedding your entire personality or anything like that. You're still you. It's just that you're letting your light shine just a little bit more vibrantly than perhaps you were before. If you've been feeling bogged down, stuck, distracted, or if you've been trying to make some changes and you've been feeling like man, oh man, this has been a struggle, right? This is where things may start to get a lot easier for you. And it can represent a big turning point for you. So maybe you've been, trying to eat healthier. Maybe you've been trying to lose weight or get a little bit more physically active, right? Working on your appearance in some way, not for other people, right? It doesn't matter about other people. We're not talking about other people. We're talking about you, right? Because it's what you want. It's because what's going to make you happy, right? You're focusing on your goals, your dreams. This is your full moon in your first house, right? So it's not that we're going to just ignore everyone else around us. It's just that you're shifting that focus more onto you and what you want to achieve. So in this energy, if you've been trying to lose weight or eat healthier and you keep making bad choices and then, you beat yourself up and, you have that cheeseburger at lunchtime and then you're like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Oh, my day is shot. And then it kind of goes downhill from there, right? This might be where you're a little bit easier on yourself, but you all of a sudden may shed some cravings. You're finding yourself more energetic. So if you're trying to get more physically active, right, this can be where you're feeling a little bit more energy to get to the gym or whatever your form of exercise may be. Get outside and go hiking, that kind of thing. Whatever it is, right, whether it's something financially related, career related, relationship related, or something to do with you, right, and how you feel about yourself, right, whatever it is, there's some really positive vibes going on and you have your goals in mind. Some of you are reaching a milestone at this time as well. So it's going to be really exciting. Remember, whatever milestone that you are hitting, even if it's just those little small wins, celebrate every single one of them and give yourself a little bit of gratitude, but also give the universe a little bit of gratitude. And the universe really does have your back. All right. But in this energy, if you are single and looking for love, this can be really positive for you. There can be some like love at first sight energy. Remember, with Jupiter, Venus, all this wonderful stuff going on, we're being brought something, right? Whether we're being brought enlightenment, whether we're being brought a release of bad habits and cravings and things like that, or whether we're being brought people and love and wonderful happiness into our lives, whatever it is, we're getting something. So you could be meeting new people, finding new love in your life, or maybe you're just opening your heart just a little bit to some love. Some of you could be having some relationship growth right now as well. And so it's very exciting, right? Just something that really does set you up for the future. We have Cancerian energy here, push through any insecurities, okay? So this can be where you're feeling a little bit more confident, where you're facing some fears, you're making some changes. For some of you, there's some big shifts in energy coming in here, right? Because Jupiter brings us expansion and growth. Jupiter is your ruler. And so this can be like, a real push for you to start something new or to let something go, to release something, right? Don't say I don't want it. Right? Say, I release this, whew, right? And then just kiss something goodbye. And especially if that is any kind of fears, insecurities, or doubts that you might have about yourself. So again, you might be feeling a little bit more confident at this full moon. Get in touch with your feelings, all right? But great time to do some meditation for yourself. Great time to do some like release rituals kind of thing. You don't have to work with fire or anything like that. You can, write something on a piece of paper, meditate on it, and release something. And then, of course, replace it with something new or something improved, but really positive for you. We have the Knight of Wands. I love this for you. I love this that this has come out. The Knight of Wands is an energy of I'm passionate, I'm excited, I'm confident, I'm being me, I've got some goals in mind, I know that I can do it, right? The Knight of Wands is that energy of I can. I'm going to do this. I'm going to accomplish this. And it's also one of, yes, I did it. Right? So super positive energy here for you, but also very fun-loving, right? Very fun-loving, very adventurous in this energy. And so you could be feeling a renewed sense of self, renewed sense of purpose. Maybe you are just feeling a little more confident, right? That you're going to do what you set out to accomplish, right? Or you might get some really good news with this as well. The Knight of Wands can be passionate new connections coming in here as well for you. And yes, if you are, if you're familiar with tarot, some people do all of a sudden go to the Knight of Wands as like, oh, this is a player energy, right? Red flags. No, we got to start somewhere, okay? We start out, if we think about, when we first meet someone new in our lives, right? We feel chemistry, Knight of Wands. We feel attraction, Knight of Wands, right? We feel like we're having fun. We're in the honeymoon period, right? We're in the physical attraction, right? We're, kind of exploring each other, getting to learn about each other, all that kind of thing. And it's lighthearted and it doesn't really come with like a big commitment. But the Knight of Wands, yes, can sometimes go, because the Knight of Wands can be sometimes about conquering something, right? About conquest. It's like, okay, I've had this conquest. Now I'm bored. Now I'm going to go on to something else. Okay. It can come with that, but the Knight of Wands can also mature into the King of Wands. Right? So don't, so don't fall into that trap necessarily of always thinking the Knight of Wands is always going to be that player energy, because it's not, right? But we all have to start somewhere, and things start out with that passion and that physical attraction sometimes, right? So if you are meeting someone new, this can be someone really fun, right? And you can just have a good time, keep it lighthearted, right? And see where something goes, right? But the Knight of Wands, very much your energy as well, right? So get really excited about this moon. You could have a little bit of luck. We have trust here as well. The light in you cannot be dimmed, all right? So face your fears, be confident, get out and have a good time, try something new, get out of your comfort zone and trust, take that leap of faith forward and trust that things will be okay, all right? But believe in yourself here. So it's great energy. And we have eternity. Give yourself permission to slow down. All right. Some of you do have some ambitions. You've got some things that you want to do, that you want to accomplish. But if the Knight of Wands tells us anything, it's like, okay, yes, I've got some goals. Yes, I want to make changes, or I want to get ahead in this world, or whatever it happens to be. But I also want to have fun, right? I also want to do things that are interesting. I also want to, go and explore the world and have adventures, and I want to be a little bit free. So in this energy, remember that, you need to slow down and enjoy the moment as well, right? Yes, we've got goals in mind, but we need to enjoy the ride, right? So take some time out for yourself to enjoy the journey. Just slow down a little bit. Things will happen in their natural timing, right? We don't need to push the issue at all. All right. So just a little bit of a reminder there from the universe. Good luck in this full moon, Saggy. I don't think you need it. You've got lots of luck headed your way. But I thank you for watching. We're going to move on now to Capricorn. Hello there, Capricorn. Welcome to your full moon and Sagittarius reading. You will be experiencing this in your 12th astrological house, ruled by Neptune. And of course, if you remember from the intro, we do have some very interesting energy going on with Neptune, some of which we haven't actually experienced in our lifetime. So this is something that is maybe a little bit mystical, a little bit magical in its energy. So you just never know what to expect. You could have something that is revealed to you. There could be some surprise coming in here for you guys. It's very slow moving energy in this Neptunian energy, and it does have to do with our dreams, our visions that we want to turn into reality. But it also does speak to your spiritual side as well. So you could be experiencing some spiritual downloads, some awakenings. Pay very close attention to your dreams. You could be having some weird dreams around this full moon. They could be interesting, right? So keep a dream journal right beside your bed. One of the keys, if you're one of these people and you're like, well, yeah, I know I had a weird dream, but I can't put my finger on it, right? I forget what it is as soon as I wake up. And so one of the keys to capturing your dreams, keep a piece of paper and a pen beside your bed. Just throw it on your bedside table. In the morning when you wake up, keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed and just and don't move, right? And just kind of sit there for a minute or lay there for a minute. Capture the essence of your dream, your images, your thoughts. How are you feeling at that time? What is your energy at that time? What was the essence of maybe what you were dreaming about? And then, right, spend about 30 seconds or so doing that, and then turn over and write those things down. Come back to them later on in the evening, or after you do this for a couple of days, come back to what you've written down. And there could be a little bit of a mystery or some message that is unfolding there for you, because our dreams can be where we're really connected with our subconscious, right? But it can also be a little bit more mysterious than that. So a little bit of mystery could be unfolding for you there, can come in via your dreams. Pay attention to other signs, symbols, synchronicities going on around you, because your 12th house is about your subconscious, about karmic debts, is about your dreams. It is about endings, with it being the 12th house. So something is coming to an end for you here at this full moon. Now, it can be the end of a pattern, some habits that you've got. It can be an end of negative thinking, right? It can be something else that maybe you're getting insight into, okay, yeah, this isn't working for me. This has to go. And it could be pretty much anything in your world, right? But it is like recognizing what you do need to release, or what you do need to kind of let go of and leave behind. It can be people, it can be jobs, it can be obsessions, right? It can just be, I need to let go of my need to control everything that happens in my life, and I need to trust the universe, right? That's a big one. Okay. So whatever it happens to be for you there, right? Because the 12th house is the end house, right? So it is something coming to an end. But this can be a big turning point for you as well, right? It's like transitioning, transforming into something, out with the old, in with the new. And it can be something that is just evolving in your life. And it can be, of course, the evolution of you. This is going to be a really nice full moon for you to find a little quiet time for yourself, because the 12th house, we kind of do want to squirrel away. It's what happens behind closed doors, what happens in secret, what happens in private. And of course, a spiritual practice does tend to be quite private for a lot of people, especially if you're going through, some awakenings or some growth there, right? And it's not one where we sit there, some people maybe like group activities where you can sit there and do group meditations and stuff, but an overwhelming majority of people, no. So you might find that you just want to spend a little bit of time to yourself around this full moon. This will be rejuvenating and invigorating for you, and possibly even very enlightening. But you might have some surprise that comes to you, and it can really hit you out of left field. It could be something really exciting, really positive, but you could also have a secret that is revealed to you as well, or you might be revealing something to the world, something that you have not been sharing, something that you've been keeping hidden. Whether it's your spiritual practice, or whether it's some plans for your future that you've been working on, and maybe you haven't told anyone what you're up to because you don't want to hear anyone else's negativity, right? You're like, I don't need anyone else's input. I know what I want. I know where I'm going to go. I know what changes I need to make, right? And you don't want anyone kind of interfering in your own energy or your convictions, right? So you could be revealing something at this time that you've been doing, or that you've been keeping hidden. So we're in a little mysterious energy there for you. We have full moon energy bringing to you Scorpio. Breathe through the tension. All right. And so, yeah, there could potentially be some emotional upheaval at this time. The 12th house can really reveal what is hidden that is creating blocks and obstacles within you as well. So this can feel a little bit emotional, but it does bring in a little bit of healing for that too, right? Because we can release, right? Full moons, release, release, release. So, but sometimes that's hard, right? It's hard to let go of things. Right? If you're the kind of person that likes to control the outcome, you micromanage things, right? You don't like it when you're not in control. Sometimes we do need to let that go. We need to be a little bit more in the flow. We need to allow things a little bit more, and that can be stressful. It can be, anxious, right? So breathe through that tension. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, I'll do a little bit of breath work with that. But full moon energy, something coming to fruition, transition for you. Okay, and especially with the Scorpio energy. Scorpio is very interesting that this should come up for you, especially with your 12th house, because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. We've got Pluto in retrograde at the moment in the sign of Aquarius, and this could be where you're reassessing, reevaluating something, but something that you have been trying to make some changes for could start to shift and happen for you. Pluto goes to the depths, right? Goes to the shadow and brings something out of the shadow. right? So with your 12th house also being some sort of secret that might be revealed, right? Something is hidden that comes to light. This can be very impactful for you at this time. And Pluto does bring personal growth, emotional growth, but it also brings spiritual growth as well. So you could be in a situation where something is kind of shifting within you and you don't see things the same way as you did previously. But this can really highlight beginnings and endings for you, transformation and growth of all kinds. And yes, sometimes it can be a little stressful, especially if we realize that you do need to release something out of your life, or you do need to bring an end to something. So especially if it's like a relationship or friendships or things like that, can be kind of tough sometimes because, you know, it's things we care about, but maybe we've grown away from, or we need to part ways with because they are inhibiting our growth. So whatever your situation is there, breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay. It can really help you. We have the 5 of Swords coming in here. Very interesting for you. The 5 of Swords does bring a little bit of challenge, okay? It does bring some conflict, and it's probably a little bit of conflict within you, all right? Trying to figure something out, or maybe something's been keeping you a little bit anxious, tied up in knots, okay? Or maybe you've been confused, all right? And of course, Neptune can sometimes bring confusion. So there could be something that you've been trying to figure out and you just haven't had the clarity that you need, or you haven't had a clear sense of direction, or things have just been feeling a little bit fuzzy around the edges. So the 5 of Swords speaks to that and says that you have a really powerful opportunity to change and to get clear and to see things different. But in the 5 of Swords, it does bring conflict potentially with other people. It shows a winner energy, okay, but it's at a cost, at a price, all right? This guy here, he's got his loyal companion, right? He's standing upright. He's got his sword. He's like, yes, I did it, right? His sword's in the ground, no longer a danger. But we've got 2 swords on the ground. Someone's admitted defeat, someone walking away, and somewhere in the back, there we go, we've got a guy crying, right? And so this really does sometimes speak to an energy that for you to follow your goals and your dreams, or for you to get what it is that you want, or follow your happiness, right? People ultimately will follow their happiness, that there could potentially be other people that are hurt or defeated along the way, right? And it's like, to the victor go the spoils. Only one person can come out on top, right? And sometimes our path forward and our path to victory and success, or the changes that we're making, part of that is that we are releasing people or situations out of our lives, and they might not necessarily be happy about it. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're making any kind of significant changes with people and relationships in your life, is to, the 5 of Swords always does say, watch your words, right? Be careful with your communication or how you convey something to somebody. It's one thing to follow our bliss, right? And that's quite often why relationships and things finish. They come to an end because someone isn't happy and they're making the changes that they need to do to follow their happiness. But that doesn't always include their relationships, right? It's like, in order for me to follow my happiness, I need to leave this behind. But just be aware that when you're doing things like that, to speak words with kindness and compassion, and try not to get in arguments and fights. Sometimes it's a little bit challenging, okay? Because sometimes other people want to fight, right? But this shows that there is positive change ahead, but we do sometimes need to let go of people or cause a little bit of hurt along the way, not intentionally, just because they're not part of our future, right? So, it can be a little bit challenging. The 5 of Swords also does show that some changes that you've been making are starting to pay off for you here. So it is, can be quite the victorious energy, exciting opportunities for change for you. And again, just be aware of communication, because sometimes in this energy, it's like, people might say they're happy for you, but we just don't want to brag, okay, because we could hurt someone's feelings. So just be aware of that. But this is also a really important opportunity to clear away any confusions. You might be getting more clarity about something. This can also be an energy to improve your communication with people as well. Focus on communication. And as we have this full moon, we are at the beginning of Gemini season. Mercury is now direct. So there could be some healing of something that is here for you. The 12th house can bring that to you. All right, so if there's been some tension, some miscommunication, some arguments, some fighting, all that kind of stuff over the last couple of weeks, the last few weeks when Mercury has been retrograde, this can be where you can get things back on track and clear the air. We have expand. Yes, growth is often uncomfortable and messy, but necessary. Pretty much just what we were talking about. Not everyone's happy with changes that we make, but we are ultimately following our happiness, our goals, our dreams. So I'm going to leave that there for you guys. Okay. I hope you guys have a wonderful full moon. Okay. Good luck in this full moon. I thank you for watching. We're moving on to Aquarius. Hello there, Aquarius, and welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading. This is happening in your 11th house. Your 11th house is your energy, all right, ruled by Uranus. So this can be where something is maybe transforming and evolving in your life, and this can be something in alignment with your wishes and your manifestations. But this can be something that maybe brings you a little bit more freedom in your life as well. Your 11th house has to do with society, with charities. Maybe you're looking to give back to people, give back to your community. It does have to do with groups of people, your memberships, right? Who you're connected to or what groups that you are a member of. Okay. This can really have a focus on your humanitarian side of you. So maybe you're looking to give back to your community, your neighborhood, or society in general somehow. Maybe you're looking to volunteer, or, you can volunteer a lot of different things, right? And it doesn't have to be, going down and making a big production of things. You can volunteer, maybe help out your neighbors, that kind of thing. You got an older neighbor that maybe is having trouble mowing their lawn, or, maybe if they're not necessarily having trouble, but you're just feeling a little generous, maybe you just offer to mow their lawn for them or something, right? And they're probably quite appreciative of it. So giving back, right? People helping people. This is also very much an energy focusing on your future. Uranus helps you align and make changes for your future, but it also helps you to find liberty and freedom from the things that are no longer aligned with you for your future. And where this does bring in some social aspects, right? Very sociable energy is the 11th house. This can be where you're looking at the groups you belong to, your social media, that kind of thing. The friends, so-called friends that you've collected on your Facebook and things like that. And you could actually be scaling things down a little bit. So you could be making some changes there. You could be replacing out with the old memberships and associations and in with ones that are a little bit more in alignment with who you are today and where you're headed down the road. And so this can be freeing yourself from kind of toxic groups and things like that, right? Some of these groups that are out there, they start out positive, and then we end up with the keyboard warriors and all that kind of stuff, and online bullies and things. And we're like, you know what? I don't even want to see this in my feed anymore. And we unfollow stuff, right? So you could be going through your social media and hitting unfollow to about a million things, but then you're looking for something a little bit better, right? In there, or maybe you're just freeing yourself up, having a break from social media in some way here as well. But this can really bring in something sparkly for you because your 11th house is your wishes. Right? Your wishes, your goals, your dreams. What do I want? What have I been dreaming about? And so this can be a little bit of a magical energy that is in here for you. So we have Gemini energy, embrace the flow of life. All right. And go with the flow, right? Release ourselves from anything that's keeping us stuck or stagnant or is taking up too much of our time, right? And we're just going to step into the flow. When we are in the flow of things get easier. Changes or disruptions are easier to navigate because we're like, okay, well, that's interesting. All right, let's see where we go. Let's just ride the wave, right? So ride the wave of life, embrace that flow of life, and you'd be amazed what happens. And you kind of like that anyway. So if you've been feeling like a little bit stuck, or you've been feeling like, oh my goodness, I've been feeling like I'm walking through quicksand, this can be where things get lighter and brighter for you guys. All right, with the Gemini energy, we've got Mercury on the 13th of May, finally, that has come out of shadow. So you might find that you're talking to more people, very social energy with the 11th house, talking to more people, meeting new people, that kind of thing. Maybe you're feeling like, oh, I'm just going to get out there and have a little bit more fun. So you might be feeling like a little bit more social in this energy, but really focused on communication and big thoughts and ideas and all this kind of thing. So this can be where things really do pay off for you. We have the 10 of coins. Things really pay off for you at this energy. 10 of coins is a beautiful, abundant energy. Okay, so this is long-term stability, success, security. This is abundance in all material forms. And of course, we do have a lot of material energy coming in with this full moon being in the second house, right? Second house is your possessions, the things you own. This is where you live, right? Your house, your bank account, all this kind of stuff, your career path. So this is saying to you that you could be getting some blessings in this full moon. Something could be coming to fruition for you, and really something can pay off. So some hard work that you've been doing, or some previous intentions that you've set, your wishes, if we will, may come to fruition for you at this time. And sometimes the universe does happen and work in weird ways, right? If we're looking for enough money to buy our first home, we may not necessarily get a bunch of money landing in our bank account, but it can be via maybe someone, we inherit like a down payment, or someone co-signs a mortgage for us, that kind of thing, right? So, or the dream house that you've had your heart set on, maybe all of a sudden they drop their price like big time, and now all of a sudden it's affordable when previously it wasn't for you. So the universe brings us what we wish for and what we want. It's just that sometimes it doesn't look the way we had originally envisioned it. So in the flow, we're open to all possibilities, right? And we see the blessings in things that help us to get what it is we want. So it's a beautiful energy though. 10 of coins. This is abundance, stability, security, your bank account, your home, your future. And the 10 of coins also is a generational card, right? So family, and it's one of inheritance as well. So again, someone could help you in some way to get what it is you wished for. So just be open to the possibilities there, because it could be quite wonderful. We have unleash. Hold nothing back and expand into the universe. All right, beautiful. Where do you see yourself headed? What are you wishing for your future? What do you want to change? What does stability and security and happiness and joy and abundance look like to you? Remember your unlimited potential, your unlimited possibilities, your time to shine here, Aquarius. I'm going to leave all that there for you guys. Good luck in this full moon. We're going to move on now to Pisces. Hello there, Pisces, and welcome to your full moon and Sagittarius reading. This can be super sparkly for you guys, all right? You could have something that is coming to fruition for you, maybe not necessarily today, but over the next couple of weeks, that very much has to do with your career path. The 10th house is an awesome energy for your public image, for how people look at you. You could be getting some rewards, some recognition, some honors, a little bit of fame. So maybe someone recognizes something publicly that you've done, and it's like a huge pat on the back, and you could be getting rewarded financially for that. Or you could find that there's something that you can put on your resume that makes you very desirable to potential new employers to increase your earning potential. Your 10th house is also about your achievements, your ambitions, your goals, career status, your reputation, your influence on the world around you. Also does have to do with your dominant parent. So there could be something that you've got going on there with like whoever is the most dominant parent in your family. This can be your current family. So if you are the dominant parent, the breadwinner, right? This can be something very interesting for you. This can also represent that maybe if you're a partner, right? If you're married or living with someone, maybe your partner, your father figure, maybe they have something really positive happening in their workplace, and this could actually bring you some freedom in some way, right? This can also have to do with your dominant parent as well, whether it's your mother, your father, whoever you would use the phrase, this person wore the pants in the family. This person, you could be repairing a relationship, or maybe they help you out in some way. You got some dealings with them. It could be that they're retiring financial freedom, right? And you could find yourself, maybe putting together a retirement party, that kind of thing, something to honor and recognize them. Hopefully you're the one with some financial freedom and maybe you're retiring, right? So this can be extra sparkly for you. But this is awesome for career changes, to make more money, to get rewarded for things that you've already done. Very sparkly energy here for you in the 10th house, and especially when it's aligning with this full moon in the second degree, which is the second house degree, your money, your resources, also aligned with Taurus energy. So this can be super positive for you. Very stable in its energy. We have Aries energy here, work through your feelings. All right. So, this can be where maybe some doors are opening for you to expand your horizon, okay, to make some wonderful career changes, right? Whether you're, interested in a promotion, right, that can, really kind of, it's something in your wheelhouse, but something that carries more responsibility, but also can bring in quite the bigger paycheck. This could be in your current company you work for. This can be in a new company that maybe you're looking at, right? And working through your feelings, it's like I'm really excited about this. I'm feeling really good about this, but at the same time, I'm freaked the hell out. So this might be where you need to work through some anxieties or some fears, right? That kind of thing. Okay. You could have a stomach up in knots a little bit, right? Because the 10th house does have to do with your public image. If you might find yourself in a position where you have to give some sort of speech, whether it's a speech like introducing someone, or it could be like a presentation that you have to give, right? Something where you're speaking to like a group of people and you are the one and all your eyes on them. Could also have to do with like an interview, right? You're the one speaking and eyes on you. It could be like one of those dreaded group interview kind of things, right? And so this is like, you might really be feeling very nervous about this, because maybe public speaking or giving presentations or speeches of any kind, maybe it's not really in your wheelhouse. It's not where you're comfortable, right? But this is saying to you here in Aries, with the Aries energy, it brings along new beginnings. It brings along taking the next step or the first step, right? It's initiating and taking action, but it's one of confidence, one of believing in yourself, one of knowing I can do this. I am powerful. I am strong. I am ambitious. I am successful, right? And so this is saying to you that whatever you've got going on, whether you're making some changes or whether you have to speak right in front of people, right? Something that is, where all eyes are on you. Yes, you're going to be nervous. Yes, you're going to feel anxious. Maybe you're one of those fair-haired people where you step up in public and all of a sudden your face goes beet red. I used to be that person. I still feel that way, but fortunately my face doesn't go red anymore, but it took years to figure that out, right? But if that's the case, work through those feelings, but don't let them hold you back. All right. It's very easy to let those feelings of anxiety hold you back. But this is saying no, power through them. Aries is your power, right? Power through them and do what you need to do and let yourself shine, because this is a very positive energy to let yourself shine. All right. And you'll be rewarded for your letting yourself do that. We also have Temperance coming in here for you. And I love the Temperance card. All right. Now, an interesting thing. Through these readings, you're the final one, right? You're the 12th sign, you're the final one. But through these readings, the tarot cards that I've been pulling up, the majority of them have not been a major energy. The majority of them have been small, right? So with the Temperance card and you getting it, this is a massive boost of protection and guidance from your angel spirits guides. Because it is quite often one where our guardian angel comes out to play. Now, if you do need to do something where you have to put yourself out there publicly, or you're doing something that does make you feel anxious, stressed, and uncomfortable, Call upon spirit, call upon your guardian angel, right? Call upon, your past loved ones, your ancestors, whoever you feel comfortable with. Ask them for guidance and protection. Ask them to help calm your nerves. The Temperance card is calming energy. It's healing energy, right? And so ask them for that help. They'll be there. Ask them for a sign, right? You'll get it. Okay. But this is one of tempering the energies. This is one of calming things down. This is one of finding balance and peace, forgiveness, healing. All these wonderful things come in here with the Temperance card. Also reminds you everything in moderation, right? We don't have to do everything all in one day. We don't have to do everything all at once. Do things one day at a time, right? One step at a time, and you will get to where you need to get to, right? If you do need to put yourself out there in some situation that makes you feel uncomfortable, right? Just start, don't focus on, especially public speaking. I don't know, there must be someone out there that has some sort of speech that they need to do or presentation, and they're very nervous about it because it keeps coming up. So we'll stick with that particular example, but it's just an example. But instead of focusing on, oh my God, I've got to give this big thing and there's a giant group of people and I wonder how many people are going to be there, and you're starting to get yourself all wrapped in knots, the Temperance card says, slow down, everything in moderation. Okay. Start with, I've got a killer presentation. I've got a killer speech written. I know what I'm talking about. I'm confident in the subject matter. I'm confident in myself, right? Start with putting that presentation together, or writing down some cue cards for yourself, or practicing your speech, right? Don't focus on the giant group of people or on what's at stake with what you're doing, right? Take things one step at a time. And when we break a big thing down into smaller steps, right, all of a sudden it looks a little different. And all of a sudden we're like, I can achieve that. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right? Because you can write your speech or your presentation, or you can practice for your interview. You can walk into a boardroom or, a presentation hall or an interview room with people, right? You can get yourself there, right? You can start introductions, say hello, right? And just take things one step at a time from there, right? And it's like breaking down a giant goal into small increments. So, but I do feel that if you're in that kind of situation, you are going to succeed and you are going to feel really good. The Temperance card does also bring about healing and a whole bunch of things. So if you've been having trouble in your workplace, this is where, you're working through something here and you have a potential to fix it, restore the equilibrium there, restore the balance. But I also feel in this energy that you're being very spiritually guided at this time, right? And of course, we do have the energy of Neptune, right? That's in your sign. And so this can be really some big awakening for you. And you could be really focused on your goals and your dreams. And with this energy of Sagittarius coming in, with the Jupiterian energy, there could potentially be some doors opening up for you in the near future that are very much in alignment with your goals and your dreams. So with this Aries energy, step through that door. The door is being left ajar for you. You're being guided. Sorry, camera cut off. You're being guided down a garden path that you would never have necessarily thought yourself that you would go down, right? Or maybe it's something that you had never even considered before. The thing is, with our intuition, we are quite often guided to places unknown and things that may feel a little bit strange, but your intuition is never going to lead you astray. But our intuition quite often defies logic. So if you're being led down a certain direction, a certain path, you're being encouraged to open the garden gate. And if you're not seeing any red flags, and if things feel good, follow it. See where it goes. Because it can be something very magical and very rewarding for you. We have here evolve. The cosmic potential flows through you. This is a time of change, evolution, and growth to follow your goals, to follow your dreams, and to have things come to fruition for you. Believe, embrace, and enjoy the ride. I thank you guys for watching. I'm going to leave all that there. I hope there was something here for you. If so, please like, share, subscribe. Sharing is caring. I hope you guys have a wonderful full moon. Good luck in this energy, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.